Hey everyone, welcome to Developer Office Hour. Happy Friday. If you're here, let me know in the chat, and we'll get started in just one moment. We made it to April, first Developer Office Hour of the month. Hey Mad Jellies. All right. So this is good to go here, and let's get this going. All right, so if this is your first time here, this is Developer Office Hour on the NVIDIA Omniverse channel. This is where I take some time every week to answer questions that you may have about and developing for NVIDIA Omniverse, and answering any coding questions you might have. And also, I at the beginning I have some common questions that come up during the week, and I prepare those to answer. And then afterwards, it's open forum, and you can just feel free to ask in the chat anything you may have, and I'll do my best to answer it this week. And if I can't, I'll try to get to it the following week. Everything that I show here is available in this repository here. If any code that I show is logged here by date, and you can come in here, and there's scripts in here. You can see what questions were asked on a given week. So that's all available for you afterwards. And then we have lots of other events happening in our community. We have some SimReady live streams that are going on right now on Monday and Wednesday. Isaac Sim team has started their weekly live stream in a similar format to this one. So if you have Isaac Sim specific questions, you can jump on that on Tuesdays. And the big one for next week is the walkthrough, the latest 3D developer platform features. So this is all the new things that are coming out in Kit 105. We're going to have special guest Damien on the live stream to share that with us. So that's it for the news and intro. So let's get to it. Okay. Bam. All right. So still getting used to StreamYard here. First question, where can I find extension API documentation? So I'll show you how to go about that. First thing that I would do is go to docs.omniverse.nvidia.com. This is the main doc site, so you can't get lost. And in here now we have a new tile for Omniverse Developer Guide. And this is a great place to start. It has this landing page here that kind of introduces you to the platform, all the different things you could build, and you kind of choose your path to learn for whatever your goal is. But in here, we also have quick links to other things, and one of them is this Kit API units. And so if you click on there, we have all of them listed here, all the ones that are currently available, and you can search for anything you want, and it'll filter the results down. So, and I guess I can click through one of these. For example, OmniUSD. There it is. And that'll link over to the documentation unit for this extension. So this is all just documentation specific to this extension. And you can, a lot of them will have like overview or some just regular documentation pages, and then also the API reference where you can search by class and then check out the methods for that class and all that. So, and then if you click on the logo, it'll take you back to the index. The other thing that I want to mention is that we have some documentation in a special unit called Kit SDK. So if you can't find the extension that you're looking for, one quick lookup that you could do is search in here. Some of them are still in the process of being transferred over to individual doc units. So for example, if I search for, you have OmniKit command in there, but there's a few in here that haven't made it over. Specifically, timeline. If I search timeline, it's not there, but in here it is. So so have a look in here in case there's something that you're looking for and you can't find it. This would be my next place to look. So that kind of covers the API documentation and what's available online currently. And we are adding new documentation every release. So keep a lookout for new extension documentation in here. Any questions about that? Yeah, data juggler. We can take a look at that. Give me a little bit more context about where that's coming from, if that's OmniUSD or something. Hey, funky boy, you made it. All right, so let's move on to the next question. Next question is, how do I get the current frame number? I think this was the one that Data Juggler asked this week, and so I thought it was a good one. It's not totally obvious how you would do this one. So so let's get to it. One of the things that I would do, I know we have some snippets here for time, I thought. Nah, maybe not. That would be a good snippet to add. But the reason that I showed where this Kit SDK is because, or this documentation is because this is specifically the documentation that we need for this question. So Omni Timeline is the what we use to control that. And in here, we can get the current time, which would be the current time on the timeline, which is what we want. But that is in seconds. So we also, but we want the frame number, right? So we also need to do a conversion to frames, and that would be using this, get time codes per second. So this is the frame rate that we encode in USD. So with those 2 bits, you should be able to calculate the current frame. So we'll do that. I'm just checking to see if I was missing anything. So I think we're good. All right, so let's move over to do the coding here. Okay. So we said we need to import Omni Timeline. And for a lot of these C++ classes, you need to get the interface. So a lot of them will have a function like that declared at the top of the module, and then from there I now have access to all those timeline functions that we saw earlier. So I need to get current time, and that's going to be seconds. And then we need to get the time codes, so we'll call it FPS, time codes per second. And then we want frames, so divide seconds by frames per second. No, multiply. Frame is equal to seconds times FPS. All right, and I guess we can do that. All right, let's do this right, and we'll use the carb log info. Cool. So I'll save that, and I should be able to send this over. Let's see what happens when I do run selected. Okay, that's what I thought. So we come over here. I'm using the VS Code extension, embedded VS Code extension, to be able to send commands from VS Code to Omniverse. So we'll turn that on. And now it should be happy. There we go. And if we come over here, we should see in the console some output. So we're on frame 0. Not surprising. But then we can come over here and go to the timeline and scrub this to, say, 32. And let's try it again. And there it is, 32. So I'm getting floats because I'm doing float division, so you could convert that into integers if you wanted to. And another thing that I wanted to point out here, this is just a detail about this this extension here, is I think if you do print, it'll actually print to this output. It'll redirect the output to here, but it can't do it for log info. So kind of nice. Any questions about that? Ben, you can, Discord is probably the best way to share. If you've got, if you know you've got a rather lengthy question, then yeah, just let me know on Discord or however you want to get a hold of me, and then I'll add it to my list for the week. All right, I'm going to catch up on the chat here and see what we're going to do. Yeah, here's Data Juggler just totally spoiling it for everybody. So Semi, for that Omniverse, the CC4 and audio to face, I would try asking on Discord in the audio to face channel. Data Juggler, about that get local transform, let me know which one we're talking about. Otherwise, if you're just trying to get the local transform for a prim, I can just show you a general solution for that. Next release of Omniverse is coming soon. Keep an eye out. I mean, we're already we're doing the live stream next week where Damien's going to be talking about these things. So very, very soon. For full screen, you want to do a full screen viewport. What I would do, what does this one do? That's not quite it, right? But if we come over here, yeah, I just data juggler. I just did this for rotation, so I'll share that, and hopefully we can get to that today. We're going to go to create. I have to launch it. Sorry. Okay. So we have a full screen mode, F11. Obviously, that's the obvious shortcut. And then I think you hit F11 to get out of it. No, well, I tabbed out of it. I don't remember how to get out of this. Was it F11 actually kills my audio. Oh, I think I need to press. What were the other shortcut keys? Control 1, maybe. Well, I don't remember how to get out of that. Anyways, the point is, if we were to look at that layout code, we should be able to find the code that we need to do that. Let's take a quick look here. I think that may be in the setup code. Nope. OV package, create, and we're going to look for, there is this setup, and the setup comes with those layouts. Let's take a quick look at it in here. If it's not in here, then I'll do another search here. So it does add the layout there, which comes from full screen mode. So I wonder if the hotkey manager would actually tell us. Oh. I'm surprised I can't even kill that. No, you're good. I finished the things I wanted to cover today from that I had prepared. So it's your turn. All right. I'm going to get create up and running. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to figure that out from the hotkey manager. In the meantime, let me find my code that I recently did for rotation. Okay. All right, well, this came up faster than I could get the other code. So if we go to the hotkey manager, global, F1, F11, there it is. Action, editor, menu, bridge, window, full screen mode. So that is that's where the code's coming from. So if we go to OmniKit UI editor, menu, bridge, you could call it, I mean, probably the best thing would be to call that action. I'm not supposed to be in third party, I'm supposed to be in NVIDIA. OmniKit UI. That's cool. I don't know where this extension is. Pretty sure it's not this one. It's not going to be that one. Yeah, I would start with the action because you should be able to call these directly. Otherwise, I'll find this afterwards because I don't know where how to pull that up right now. I'm surprised I'm not seeing it here though. One more check. This is going to be inside of Kit itself. Nope. All right, I'll find that. Back to data juggler's question. All right. We have shown how to get the local transformations, but not how to decompose it. And so that's what this is. So if you have a matrix 4, we've shown how to extract the translation, rotation, and scale. But the other bit that you need to do is once you have the rotation, you need to decompose it. You can give it a decompose wants a XYZ axes. It wants some sort of 3 vectors that are normal to each other. So you can use the identity matrix for that. I'm not sure why you need to reverse the order for this, but once you do that, you get the rotation in XYZ Euler angles. So I'll show that in a moment. So yeah, let's import from our import GF, and I guess we need Omni. And I know we have a snippet for this one. USD snippets. So y'all thought that we created these snippets for you, but I wanted these snippets for me because I can never remember how to do these things. So this is my quick lookup. So this looks a lot like what we have. So we just need to get the local transform. This is what I wanted. Okay. Yep. We're going to get the prim state is equal to omni.get USD. Nope, get context. Get stage. And then prim is equal to stage.get prim at path. And we're going to make a prim in a moment. World cube is fine. And then with that cube, we're going to get the X form object, formable. And then with that, we get the transform. And then we can print decompose matrix. Information. Okay. Also, this was a really lengthy way to do it. I should also mention, if you're just doing local transformation, you could just get the attributes directly. But let's set this up. I'll cover that in a moment as well. So we have world cube. Let's first make sure we get all zeros, right? And I like to have this a little bit more like this. There we go. Anyways, that way I can swap back and forth really quickly. So yeah, so I think we can just run this. I forget USD. Cool. So that works, right? We got zeros and then ones, zeros and ones. So now we can rotate this. Let's not be maniacs. Let's do something reasonable here. All right. 11, 16, and 36. So we can come back over here, run it again. Negative 11, 16, and negative 36. Is that right? Yeah, negatives. Cool. So that's how you would decompose the matrix. So I'll save that there. And we can, and then I'll show you if you're just interested in local attributes, this won't work for everything, right? Sometimes somebody might, one of your prims may have a transform op, and then you don't have any other choice but to decompose it. But you can just get this attribute directly. This is the xform op rotate xyz. So I'll do that. Local rotation, we'll pass in a prim. This has special rerouting so that the print is rerouted to Omniverse. Yeah. Let me show this, and then we'll talk about camera. Another import. And we're just going to do prim.get attribute xform rotate xyz. This isn't as robust because the rotation may not only be on this xyz attribute, but it's an option. So that's going to get it. So all I need to do is print. Oh, I need to get the values. Right. After you get the attribute, you have to get the values. And then we can just do print get local rotation of my prim. Oh, same thing in this case, but just wanted to show this is much simpler, and it works for 90% of the cases. Every time you create a prim, it's going to have these attributes for if it's xformable. But just wanted to show the complete one that is more foolproof, or will work for more situations. Yes. So camera forward. This is what I was trying to explain. Data juggler is if I create a camera, the forward axis is always negative z, positive z, negative z. Even if I rotate this a bunch, I'm in global there, but that's local transform. It's always negative z. So as long as I move why doesn't this work? Hold on. Because of the rotation order. Right. Okay, maybe I lied. I don't know how math works. So if I rotate this, yeah, okay, you're totally right. I was trying to do something else. Earlier I was grouping this. I was setting my rotation on a different transform. And that's why it worked. Scratch that. Um, yeah, so you have to do much more math to move it forward, is the short answer. There was another question here. Using the timeline node in visual scripting. Yeah, let's take a look. And Michael, let me know what you're trying to do with the timeline node. I think what our timeline node allows you to do currently is I don't know why so the window is open. There we go. What I think our timeline node lets us do is just control the timeline from the action graph. I don't think it's this one. Let me know the exact name of the one that the node that you're talking about. I did think we had a timeline. I completely messed up this instance, I think. I don't know what I did. It's going to be because of VS Code. So let me restart. Oh, I see. I think, where did I see this recently? When you create a curve, I think that creates an action graph, and it shows you the setup that you need for that. Yeah, I may need to switch to create. I don't remember if all the extensions are loaded for that. Because this one only has animation curve. And for whatever reason, nothing wants to drop in here today. So let's switch to Composer. There's a play function, and there's a stop, pause, and a stop. So same, if you, I don't know if you came in late, but if you look at how we get the current frame, you get that same interface, and then you can play, stop, and all that. If you're trying to do it with action graph, then I think we have the similar functionality in there. There's a node for that. And Yuga, are you talking about Omni UI Scene? Because yes, that should be doable. All right. Here we are in Create. We're going to create a visual scripting. Here we go. Okay, so we have the timeline, and we have this one. This one's the one that Ben, if you're trying to control playback using visual scripting, you can have events that execute this node, and you can control the timeline from here. So that is another option if you're not doing Python. What I wanted to show you, Michael, is when you create keyframes, timeline. Okay. What did I do? I moved the marker and I lost my position. There we go. When you create keyframes, it'll add animation data, and that actually creates a push graph in order to basically convert the animation data to control the actual attributes on the prim that you're trying to animate. And if we look at this action graph, let's switch over. It's a push graph. Why don't I just do this open graph? There is this bit here that controls that. So your question was animate parameter with curve. Yes. So this is exactly what this does. The curve is stored in this animation data. If we look at the raw properties, it's you can see here what did I do? I animated on X. There's nothing very interesting here, but you can see here that it is just an array of times and values for each of these attributes. And that is then fed through here. So you input animation data, and then you also give it the prim that it should animate. And that's about it. So if I wanted to, just as a proof of concept here, I could then take this same animation data and instead plug in my cube. And in theory, nothing works. Why didn't that work? I'm also totally making this up, so I'm sorry. I wonder if the animation data has to be, if that parenting matters. But it seemed logical. I may have to get back to you. World cone animation data, put it on that one. Do I need to press play? No. All right. I'll have to get back to you. Sorry. I thought that was more straightforward. I thought I understood how this one worked. So let me write that down. And all right, Michael, are you on Discord? Yeah, go ahead and send me a message on Discord, either at me on the NVIDIA server, or just send me a message, and that way I can get back to you. Okay, so that was your question then, and not specifically the timeline node, but I think it's this animation curve, if that's correct. But yeah, pretty sure that's where you want to go. And because this is a push graph, it should be evaluating always, every frame, every tick. I just want to do one more thing. I feel like that should have worked. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so there's some refresh here that is missing. So I will get back to you. So I'm not crazy. And I could have even left this under the cone, and right, and leave that there, and then save. Open a new. And that cube is still animating. So that is the magic there. I will find out to see what needs to happen to get that to reconnect without having to reopen the stage. Hey sirens, where in the world are you now? But otherwise, if you wanted to start looking into this, well, if you're really curious, you can search for, it may be in this animation schema. This may only be the schema, or it may have some logic here. All right, so here's where animation data is defined. There's animation data API. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and ask, and we'll get a quick answer. So cool. All right, Omni UIC and Python scripting component. And this may be the last one, unless I missed an easy one here. Okay, so we can use the same cube. We'll add a Python scripting component, add Python scripting. Add new script. You can create a new one. I'm just going to try to use blah, 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 blah. New script. I have to come over here to open it. Cool. So what is all of this? What is a quick thing that I can demo as a proof of concept here? We were doing a button on, so this is a good script because I was helping somebody else out, and what it does is on play. Error? Yeah, I don't have requests. Okay, well. We won't do this. All right. On play, it'll add a button to the viewport, and then I click it, and it says hello. So what you want to do I think I showed this last week. Did I show this? I might have shown a variation of this last week. What can we do to quickly demonstrate Omni UI scene in here? So Kit. Regarding paint defect, we have content coming out like in 2 weeks and in like a week and a half about that exact use case. Blog with I think maybe even a sample repo. Would that help you? Is that too far out for you? Can you wait about a week and a half that way you have kind of something to talk about if you have any follow-up questions? Okay, object info. So we need to get the viewport, feed it into here to create a viewport scene. The thing with the UI scene is it's really easy to mess things up, and especially if you're doing it in a behavior script, mess things up to the point where you forgot to delete an object and you have to restart the app to clear that out. All right, let's try it. I'm going to try to do this without saving here. Five minutes. I guess we already have a frame, so we just do self.frame here. And SC is this one. Add that import. We're going to do a thing there, and then on stop, we're going to destroy the frame, but we got to do all this other stuff. Okay, viewport window. Scene view is good. Frame, destroy. Do the scene view. Remove the scene view. And that should all be good. So here, I'm going to look at my reticle code because it's so much simpler. Once we have the scene view, we're going to draw a thing. Let's draw some lines. Where's a rectangle? Just as easy. Okay. All right, we'll draw. What is this scene that I'm passing in? Oh, that's going to be SC, right? Yeah, okay. I don't know, we'll do 5 by 5. Thickness is going to be 2, wireframe false. And then color is going to be, I'm going to import this and do red. Something. Okay. I hope this works because debugging this is not gonna, it's not gonna be easy. Okay, we press play. Hey, we got a box. Look at that. We press stop and it goes away. Wow. Did it get bigger? No, it's issues in my code. But that should be enough for a proof of concept, I think. Yeah. So I'm gonna save this script and put that in the. Let's go ahead and copy that. Do you have any follow-up questions? Mostly, I just wanted to show that it is possible and how you would start it out. We have lots of examples in those Kit template repos. Behavior. All right, so I'll save that. This will be up on that repository that I shared a link to at the beginning of this stream. Yeah, Funky Boy, I'd love to see your new extension. All right, any other questions? It looks like I shouldn't have cleared out this reference here. That was one of the main issues. I kind of want to see this work now. I probably didn't need to restart create for this because I properly destroyed. Did I properly destroy this stuff? Yeah, because the failure would have happened. All right, so we open up this foo here. Yeah, execute that. There's our box. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. So pretty fun. It's just amazing the things you can do. You can just write code for an extension, or you know what, I'm just going to put in a behavior script, share this scene with somebody, and now when they press play, they have this custom graphics that just comes along with the scene. Cool. Thank you all for joining. I have some follow-up, some homework to get back to for all of you. Some of those questions that you had that I wasn't able to answer, and we'll do this again next week. Don't forget Wednesday kit preview with Damien. Come check it out. It's on the Advent calendar. All right. Have a good weekend, everyone.